Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial here, and today we're going to continue with our Cybertruck. Super easy so far. Let's hopefully it remains the same going forward. We're going to continue maybe around the back, and then we'll maybe go up the top and then finish at the front. I think the front here is probably going to be the trickiest area. So we'll work our way around to there. So we'll maybe start with the rear section here. So it looks like this bit is going to be super basic for us, but we are going to treat it like the rest. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to grab all the edges for this, I'm going to hit Control E, I'm going to pull this in just a touch. Let's go ahead and bring everything else back. I'm going to go for an insert edge loop. I'm going to drop one in at the top here, I'm going to drop one down at the bottom. Obviously going to want to drop one here too, and I think what we'll do is let's double up on that side there just to make sure it's nice and sharp. I'll bring that in here as well to do something like that. So super basic for that. That looks like it's a darker, so I'm going to create another blend inside here and go all the way, maybe not all the way to black there. We'll apply that to those darker elements inside there. Obviously we've got the main kind of bumpers to mold in as well. Let me see here, we should be able to straight up duplicate that across. Okay. And then around there we've got like the license plate, where the groove for the license plate and such in there as well. This one in theory is going to be super easy, so let's go isolate the selection here, grab everything again, take this, I'm going to hit Control E, and we'll go on the blue again. Okay, and then just the same, we could bevel this, but I think we'll just continue along the same kind of idea. I'll drag top and bottom, we'll go around here, and then we'll go around underneath there too. Okay. Let's isolate this. Let's maybe actually, I'm going to grab these ones, I'm going to hit Control D, I'm going to take those a little bit closer. So I'm going to drop one just there and there. Let's drop one here as well. Okay, and then let's maybe drop this one in here too. Again, this one I think I'm just going to take it a touch closer. Won't make a massive deal, but we'll bring that in there. So got nice sharp edges on there too. Okay, so that's looking good. Let's see if we can grab that one. Okay, so that one I'm just going to, let's go for a combine there. Quick separate, because we know we're going to do that one next, and I should be able to duplicate that one across. Okay, so it's starting to look really nice. For this bit here, so I've got a little bit of an indentation for this. So the way it looks like the rear kind of light area cluster looks is it does have a trim around it, which is good. I am going to go and take these. I'm going to hit Control E. Let's actually isolate the selection here. So I'm going to grab both of these, hit Control E, pull these all the way along here. Straighten that off. I'm just going to hold down X and snap that over to the center here. Just merge that one up there. What we could also do here is we could maybe take the whole of the outside of this, minus these edges. We hit Control E, and I'm going to take that in, so I'm going to take that backwards here. Okay, so we brought that up to kind of meet that extra little lip up there. So I think what we'll do is I'm going to grab this back face here, and I'm going to, let's go for mesh, and let's go edit mesh actually, let's duplicate that. If I can select that, I'm going to just quickly center the pivot. so I can bring that forward. So this is going to be like the trim inside. I think as well as that, what we'll probably want to do is, I'm going to grab this, I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to scale this down just a touch, something like that, maybe a little bit more on this axis here. Okay, I'm going to grab that whole extra face and just delete that because we don't need it. I'm going to delete this one too, which will allow me to snap that into the center. So this is going to be like the glass section. There's a glass, it appears to have like a black paint almost around it, and then we have the red lights inside there. So we'll bring that back in here, and I'm just going to pull it back, and I'm just going to offset it slightly from that, what looks like would be the grey trim. Now for this, I don't think we're going to subdivide this. I think what I'll do with this is I'm going to grab all of these bits here. I think what I'll actually do is maybe just give it a little bevel. So maybe 0.2 and 3, that's segments. So see, that's not looking too bad. So that's just going to be kind of the surround for this. And then we've got our glass that's going to sit on top. So for example, what we would do is I'll maybe just create a basic lambert here, make it a little bit darker, and I'll assign that to the trim that it runs around. What we'll maybe want is, I'll maybe apply like a nice chrome. I like to make these materials at this point just so that I know where I am when it comes to me rendering these. So I'll go and apply nice chrome to that. For this one here, around the outside, I'm going to apply my darker blend. And then what I'm going to do is create a new blend. This will be glass for the bricks. So I'll maybe make this red. And also slightly transparent. And apply that to that as well. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to want to look like. What we could also do is I'm going to take everything apart from these edges here. I'm just going to hit Control E. Just give that a little bit of depth too. Just like that. And then I'm going to take that in. And again, I just want it to overlap ever so slightly. Just something like that. Okay. And I don't think we're going to need to smooth that off. I think that will work quite nicely as is just there. Let's then maybe think about this next section. So we have two sections here. We have the section that goes along the top here, and then we have this bit down here. So I think we need to do two things. One, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab the insert edge loop, and I'm going to go nice and close up here. Because I think what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to maybe keep this little lip. So I'm going to go for another edge loop. Bring that in here. Like so. Actually, maybe let's not actually do that just yet. Let's actually dial that back, because what we want to do is we actually want this edge here to come straight off there instead. So I'm just looking at an example here, and there is like a groove that runs down here. So I'll get rid of that. So we want the top to look like this, and then we want the bottom to look like that. So up here then, what I would suggest that we do is the same idea. I'm going to insert an edge loop to run up here. Maybe actually what we'll do as well is let's add this up here. And just try and keep that roughly the same orientation. So we'll have that go up there. So again, I'm going to drag two lines in here, like so. And this line here is going to be what we extract as we come down there. But I don't think we want to extract this lower one here. I think we want this to be part of a separate kind of object. So let's maybe go select this face and this face, and I'm going to hit delete. And then when we get down here, what we're going to want to do is we are going to want this to run off of this edge. So let's isolate this real quick. I'm also going to grab those faces there and get rid of them. I want this edge to run all the way down here, and then the same with this edge as well, all the way down there. Okay, so we're looking something like that. I'm going to grab those, I'm going to hit delete, and we're also going to delete this edge here. I'm going to hold control and hit delete on that one. And then what that means for us is, I think what we'll want to do is we'll want to get rid of the gap here. So I'm going to select that edge just in between. I'm going to hold control and hit delete. And then I'm just going to simply target weld these ones down here, and then the same over here. So do something like that. So now we've got that portion down here, we've got this kind of bit up here as well, and that means that this is a completely independent portion. So we can go to mesh and we can hit separate on that. We also want to add a gap up here. So let's go for our insert edge loop, and we'll drop one up here. I'm going to go for a similar kind of size as that gap there, so we can delete that too. And then down here we want to do the same. The easiest way to do this is probably going to be to select this edge and hit bevel. I'm going to want to take this right down, 0.maybe 0.1, maybe even less, definitely less than that. So maybe 0.001. 0.0015. Can't go that many, so maybe we'll go 2. Okay, so I think 0.002 looks fine. That means then we can go inside there and hit delete on that too. Okay, so we've got that divided up into the kind of multiple parts that we need. And then realistically, we can actually get rid of that edge as well, just to simplify it as much as we can. Take that down. So we've got all the kind of shapes laid out for that. So let's have a go here then at kind of bringing these in. I'm just checking my references real quick. So let's go ahead and maybe start with the bottom here. So I'm going to grab all of these. I'm going to hit Control E. I think what I want to do with these is I want to go straight down, like so. I want to do something like that. Let me just quickly separate all these parts. So we'll go straight down just to bring us down a little bit closer to this section here. Maybe a touch more. Okay. Let's insert some edge loops again, super standard shape. So we'll go and drop along here all the way around. Okay, so that subdivides quite nicely. What we do want to do though is we do want to get rid of all of this. Okay, so that all subdivides quite nice. That's got a similar material to our darker blend, so we'll drop that on there. So something like that. Looks like it should be quite fine. Okay, I'm going to do the exact same for this one here. Just going to grab these, hit Control E, and again I think I'm just going to bring these down. I'm going to bring them down to about the same distance as what we have in there. I'm going to add our edge loops in for additional strength. Let's go up top too. Okay, we can hit 3. We can see that that's subdividing nicely as well. So let's go ahead and we'll throw in our blade on there too. Okay, so we're looking quite nice. Let's get rid of the wireframe real quick so we can see that we're really starting to take some nice shape around the rear side here. Let's go take this one. I'm going to do the exact same. I'm going to hit Control E, but we don't want to take that edge this time. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to pull this vertically. And again, I'm just going to go to a similar kind of size as the item that we have down here. And again, some quick edge loops. We could bevel these like I said, but I think we want these nice sharp lines. I'll go those around there, and I'm going to go and insert just under here too. So again, I think we're looking quite nice there. So let's go and apply our darker color to this as well. Okay, so I've just looked at some reference images. I think what we'll probably want with this is, let's just let's go inside here. We haven't actually added any extras to this, so I'm going to grab this and this. Let's bring everything back. So on the reference images, it looks like this actually goes up as well. And it kind of covers up the gap between those. So just something like that. It does look like we want to add another loop just down there. That must have been something we forgot. So that kind of goes up and just kind of fills in just a touch underneath there. That definitely does do that. I'm trying to wonder, let's maybe actually just remove all of these. I'm going to go and take all of this and quickly just combine and then quickly separate, and then we should be able to quickly duplicate special for all of these. Should have maybe done the behind first. Grab that. Okay, so we're looking quite good for the most part in there. So yeah, and I think what we're going to want to do then is we could maybe do this one next, but we do have a little bit of texture on the top here. I don't know how many, there's not on the blueprint. The blueprint doesn't actually have the kind of bit that goes across the top, but there's a lot of little ridges, so let's maybe see about adding those in. If we go and let's maybe say, I don't know, let's maybe say 10. There's more than that, so maybe go 20. So maybe we could do that, and then let's bevel all those edges. I'm going to reduce that bevel down. Maybe 0.05. Let's go and grab, actually I think we'll want that, let's maybe take these ones. I'm going to go and take all the smaller bits. I think that these gaps are probably smaller in real life, but I think this should be okay. Let's take all these gaps here. Actually no, yeah, they're definitely smaller, so I'm just going to dial that back. I'll go back for my insert edge loop, and I'm thinking maybe instead of 20, let's see how 30 looks. Yeah, I think 30 is better, so we'll go for that. And then the same again, I'm going to hit bevel on those. Reduce that bevel down. I think 0.1 is okay. So I'm going to want to go and just grab all of those little sections here. Might take a second to grab them. And then we're just going to do an ever such a slight little extrusion with these, just to give them just a little bit to pop. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to hit Control E. And I'm going to pull them narrower. Maybe just pull that gap down a touch there as well. So I'm going to pull them narrow. And then on the blue, I'm going to drop them ever so slightly. And then we've still got our ridge inside there. It's a bit awkward because we don't want these little extra bits. So let's run down, just get rid of all of these. Don't think there's really going to be a quicker way to select them. I'll maybe pause the video real quick and then we'll jump back in once I've got them all deleted. Okay, so I've got all of those deleted, so all the way down the edge here and on this side too, so you can see we're running all the way up here. I think what we might do is that I'm going to grab all of the edges that we've just put together and extruded. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to bevel these a little bit, so let's go hit edit mesh here and we'll hit bevel. I think maybe just the default on its own should be okay. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that should be okay. What we probably want to do as well is grab everything here, and I'm just going to take it closer over there. Okay, so we're looking good there. Let's add, I think it's a slightly different material to our blend, so I'm just going to go maybe drop my Lambert on there just for now, just to give us a little bit of differentiation in there, so that's looking okay. Yeah, so that's looking quite nice. Let's go and get this duplicated across. So maybe what we'll do is I'll just combine it with this real quick. Let's go duplicate special here and here. This one probably actually, maybe we don't actually need to do this. Maybe just grab the vertices here. We'll just take it. Actually, no, we will do, because obviously, yeah, it obviously gets wider as it goes to the bottom. So we'll do that. Okay, so we're looking quite nice in as it comes across there. Maybe what we could do next is this section. It's going to be tricky because it is a triangle, so this corner is going to offer us potentially some problems. Let's go and get it just now then. We can see that we've already got some information in here. So firstly, we want to get rid of that. So I'm going to hold Control and hit delete. Everything else on here looks like it should be okay. We also already have some extrusions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, actually, let's not extrude that. Maybe what we could do is we could bridge between here and here. So let's hit bridge on there. And then let's grab these. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to pull these in flat. I'm going to merge this side. Maybe we're just going to extend it a bit further and then actually target weld it back. And then over here, let's target weld up there. Okay. So first thing, let's go and insert an edge loop. Actually no, let's not insert an edge loop first, because we're going to want to run around this edge. So let's actually isolate that back here. So I'm going to insert an edge loop and I'm going to drop it all the way down in this corner here, but obviously I want to bring it back onto relative. So I'm going to bring that all the way down into this corner. And then I'm going to grab my multi-cut and select that. I'm going to take this all the way over to this corner. I'm going to stay nice and close. And then drop one around there as well. So we'll do that. What we also want to do here is the exact same but on the underside. I'm going to insert edge loop. I'm going to grab this one here. I'm going to do the same running up to the top. So I'm going to go all the way up and then around here. Now this is awkward. What we're actually going to need to do, it looks like I've actually added in a bunch of edges here. Sorry guys, I'll just pause whilst I fix this real quick. Okay, we're good. So I deleted all the edges that I accidentally added to the top there, so that's fine. So we need to have this thickness up here. So I'm going to need to grab this edge here. I'm going to need to pull that out. Hopefully it's not going to affect anything too much, but we'll need to pull that out there. And we're going to need to do the same here as well. I'm going to pull that out too, because we need to maintain the thickness there for the side of the windows, but we also need to get rid of this. Let's get rid of that there. Okay, so we've got now two edges running up here. We've got two at the bottom as well. We want to drop some up here, but it's not going to run around because it is a triangle. So let's go drop that in, and then we're getting nice and close. It's going to be super awkward just because everything's so close together down here. Okay, I had to pause there real quick because it got super awkward, but we do now have, I ran this edge down underneath here, and then off to the inside there. So hopefully that works out. Okay, and then let's go and grab one more edge loop. I'm going to drop it down that side too. Okay, so we smooth that off and we can see that that's looking quite nice. Bring everything back in. We do have some weird shading here, but I think that there's not going to be an issue there. I think that's probably just because the edges here are so close together. So I think that's a viewport problem. Now let me bring this in here and just assign my blend to that. Okay, so we're looking quite good then through there. Like I said, just ignore what we have here, that's not a problem in terms of the actual render. I'll maybe do a test render in between sessions just to double check, but I think we should be good. We probably want to get this flipped across to the other side as well. So we'll flip that over there. Okay, looks like I'm missing my material on this rear quarter here as well. Just throw that in. Okay, so starting to look really good then. I think the next idea here is that we're going to be moving up and onto the roof. Now, from what I can see on the roof is, I think it probably is a separate panel in terms of running down and along here. So we can see that we've already got a little bit of detail inside there. What might be worth is, it might be worth running this line up and over. So let's maybe do that instead. So let's maybe grab our multi-cut and draw this line in here. And then take this all the way down to this point. I think so. It does look like we've got some clipping here, so I'm going to go and I'm going to take this edge. I think just the top should be fine. Let's drop that down. That should resolve any major clipping. Drop that bit down too. Okay. Okay, so that's fine. Yep, so we've got that line that runs down there. So I think what we'll do now is let's go and grab our vertex here, our target weld, and we'll weld up there and up there. So I think that's what we're going to want to do. I'm also going to drop a line just there, maybe a little bit closer. Okay. And then that means that this edge here, or this face should I say, and this face here, we can just grab those and we can hit delete. Okay, and then we'll say mesh and we'll hit separate for those. So it looks like this is what we're going to be working with in terms of, this is going to be the kind of glass roof section that's going to go across. Let's quickly, can't duplicate special that. Let's just go and move our pivot, holding D and X, and then we'll be able to quickly duplicate that. So this will be the next panel that we work on, I think, in the next episode. In the next episode, we should probably be able to get the rest of the vehicle nailed. In between episodes, I am just going to double check what I've got going on here with these faces, so I will double check that. But if you did enjoy this episode, guys, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.